Vinted is marketed as a safe, sustainable fashion resale app, but beneath its bright branding is a growing hidden market. Used socks, worn underwear, listings coded with phrases like worn once or well loved. Today we investigate what's really being sold, who is buying it, and why Vinted's policies are failing to stop it. According to Vinted's official policy, sexual content and fetish items are banned. Their terms state, items intended for sexual use are prohibited. Yet thousands of listings remain live, advertising used socks and underwear with suggestive emojis and coded wording. Moderation systems rely on keywords and reports. Sellers bypass bans by avoiding explicit fetish terms, using innocent-sounding descriptions instead. Every listing generates user activity, from scrolling to messaging and transactions. Cracking down aggressively could reduce listings, affecting Vinted's growth and profitability. Platform enforcement focuses on overt violations. Borderline listings slip through, giving Vinted plausible deniability while profiting from high engagement. They maintain, "We ban explicit sales. We can't control private messages." This approach protects their legal liability while ignoring real harms. On the surface, it looks like easy side money, people buying used socks or feet photos for a fetish market, but think deeper. The market is flooded with buyers paying hundreds for worn socks, but most never ask for the sock. They want proof photos. Why? Because it's not the sock they're buying. It's psychological ownership over the seller. Isn't that a controlling someone? This creates a hidden economy of micro-domination. Buyers feel powerful knowing someone will degrade themselves for a small payment. It's not about arousal. It's about control, power, humiliation kinks, and grooming psychology. Darker conspiracies say some buyers use sock or feet sales as a gateway test to identify sellers vulnerable for escalation into more explicit or illegal offers later. It's low-risk screening for trafficking recruiters, sugar daddies, or blackmail setups. The more you analyze this, the more this is disturbing. Others argue these platforms normalize self-objectification as empowerment, conditioning sellers to equate worth with fetishization. The end goal? Entire generations monetizing their bodies in microdoses without realizing they're being farmed for psychological dependency and degraded self-value. So next time you see someone selling socks or feet pics online, ask yourself, who's buying and what are they really paying for? Vinted bans explicit sales, but the sock and underwear market thrives coded in worn once or well loved. Buyers message sellers privately with specific requests. How is this a grooming ground? Platforms like Vinted become safe cover marketplaces to scout vulnerable sellers. Women willing to sell used socks might be approached for direct weird requests or private buyer deals outside the app. If you go into these listings, you will see short description asking buyer to directly contact the seller. Also pay attention to prices, which are very high for a pair of old used socks. It starts with socks, then requests for proof photos wearing them, then custom worn items. Then, can you sell me photos of you wearing them for $50 extra? Each step normalizes objectification as easy money until lines blur completely. For buyers, it's rarely about the sock itself. It's about psychological power, controlling someone's humiliation, buying a piece of their sweat or scent, a micro-ownership fetish rooted in degradation kinks. Conspiracies claim some profiles buying worn items aren't fetishists. They're trafficking recruiters, testing how far sellers will go for small cash, grooming them for escort, sugar daddy, or illegal cam work offers. What about those people data? Another layer? Even when no sale happens, sellers reveal selfies, real names, addresses for postage. Buyers gain identity data cheaply, building lists for further exploitation, scams, or stalker trade. Platforms market it as empowerment. Your body, your choice, your money. But each microsale devalues self-worth, training sellers to measure dignity in pennies. The real winners? Buyers feeding control fetishes, grooming networks expanding vulnerability maps, and platform owners profiting off digital slavery disguised as hustle culture. So next time you scroll worn socks on Vinted, ask yourself, who's really buying? And what are they buying you for? But things gone ever worse. In the course of this investigation, we came across something even more unsettling. Listings on Vinted that appeared to show actual people. Photos of women, men, even children. In some cases posed like items, accompanied by vague titles and descriptions like can cook, toilet trained. Were these jokes, glitches, stunts for attention, or something far more disturbing, a test of the platform's tolerance? I'm not claiming anything, I'm asking questions. Because here's the issue. They were live, public, browsable, not instantly removed. And whether these listings were real or fake, the problem isn't just their existence, it's the system that allowed them to appear at all. Vinted's public image remains clean, but behind closed screens, a hidden market thrives. The platform knows. Its policies remain vague enough to protect profits while avoiding accountability. The question is, at what point does facilitating these sales become complicity in exploitation? This isn't just about socks. It's about the silent trade in dignity happening in plain sight. Have you ever wondered why Vinted bans used bed sheets for hygiene reasons, yet allows the sale of used underwear and socks? They claim it's about safety and dignity. But here's the truth. Bed sheets carry bacteria, yes, but used underwear carries sweat and scent. So why ban one and not the other? Because the bed sheets don't feed the fetish market, paying to control someone's scent, sweat, and secret degradation. And platforms like Vinted let it happen, disguised under fashion resale. Every banned sheet listing costs them $0. Every allowed sock or underwear sale keeps fetish buyers active on the app. And as long as it's not explicit, they keep the money and keep their public image clean. Vinted isn't just a resale app, it's a digital hunting ground for fetish buyers and grooming recruiters, hiding in plain sight. And the darkest part? They know. But as long as profit flows and sellers keep selling, silence is cheaper than morality. If you found this investigation valuable, subscribe for more uncensored deep dives into hidden markets, digital exploitation, and the realities they don't want us to see. Your awareness is your power. Stay informed.